Hello, Mr. Manor. My name is Cecile Morris, and I will be conducting your HEENT examination today, which is your head, eye, ear, nose, and throat.
Okay.
At any point during the examination, if you have any questions, please feel free to stop me.
All right.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to inspect your head.
Okay.
Okay, so inspecting your head, what I'm looking for is the contour, the shape of your head, making sure that it's symmetrical.
Okay.
Okay. And the hair distribution is where it needs to be, which yours is okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to palpate your head. Okay, so I'm palpating, and what I'm looking for is any trauma, any lesion, any sores, or any tenderness. Okay, so it appears that your head is okay because you didn't complain of any soreness when I was palpating
Right.
Your head.
Okay.
So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to inspect your face. Okay. I'm looking for symmetry of your face. I'm looking on your right, and I'm looking on your left. Okay, and I'm making sure that it's symmetrical. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to palpate your temporal artery. Okay.
All right.
And your pulse.
All right.
Okay. And then I'm going to move my fingers down to your TMJ, jawline here. And I'm gonna rest my finger on here. I'm gonna ask you to open and close your mouth for me. Again. And any pain?
None.
Okay. All right. So it's appear that your jaw bone is normal.
Okay. Good.
Next, I'm going to be palpating your sinuses. So I'm going to be palpating your frontal sinus and your maxillary sinus, okay? And please tell me if you feel any tenderness.
No tenderness. No tenderness.
All right, good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be inspecting your eyes.
Okay.
Okay, again, I'm looking for symmetry. I'm looking, making sure that you have no ticking or any extra movement of your eyes. Okay. And then once I'm finished inspecting your eyes, which I am,
Okay.
you seem okay, I'm going to go ahead now and look into your eyes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to be looking at your lacrimal duct. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to pull down on your eyelids. And what I'm looking for, I'm looking at your conjunctiva.
Okay.
Okay, I'm looking to make sure that it's nice and pink and moist.
All right.
And it is.
Okay.
The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at your sclera. Okay, make sure that it should be nice and white. Okay, and it is.
Good.
Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at your eyes using my light.
Okay.
So I'm going to be checking your pupils, okay, and your reaction to light.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my otoscope here, and then when I get ready to look at the optic disc, I'll go ahead and change.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to shine the light directly in your eye.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the other one to make sure that it's consensual, right? Looking at your pupils and the lens, okay?
Okay.
Which they are, okay? So no abnormal findings with his eyes. The pupils react to light consensually when I shine it in the opposite eye, okay? So next I'm going to change this lens right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a thermoscope, I think that's how you pronounce it. And I'm going to look into your eyes, okay?
Okay.
And this is your cranial nerve 2. Yes. So I'm going to be looking in it. So what I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to be looking for the optic. Yes. But first I have to find the red reflex.
Okay.
So I just want you to look at me.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm just going to shine the light in your eye. Okay.
All right.
All right. So I'm looking in your right eye and looking, trying to find the red reflex. So I'm looking at the optic disc, and what I'm looking for is the back of the eye, looking at the blood and the membrane in there, and it appears. I'm gonna do the same thing on the left. Okay. So first I'm gonna find the red reflex, and then I'm gonna move in so I can look at the optic. Okay. So just look at the light for me. Move in a little bit, that I'm adjusting my instrument so I can see, get a better view. So his optic disc appeared. I could see the um, the outline, the membrane, and there was no abnormal. Um, it doesn't appear abnormal to me. Okay, so blood vessels and all that stuff. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so now I'm gonna be checking the what you call the ocular movement of your eyes. And so that is your cranial nerve 3, 4, and 6. Okay, and that's where I'm checking the coordinal fields. Okay, so I'm going to be using my finger. And I'm going to check some movement of your eyes. What I want you to do is just follow my finger with your eyes and not moving your head. Okay, so I'm going to my finger here, and I'm going to go out laterally, and I'm going to go up, down, and then I'm going to come back to the center. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to go to up, I'm going to go up, I'm going to go down, I'm going to come back to the center. So his eyes move with my finger. I could see the movement every time I move my finger in all the coordinate, the 6 coordinal fields, and it appears normal.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is check now for conversion and accommodation. Okay. So I want you to look at the back here, the wall. Okay. But first I want you to look at my finger. Just focus on my finger. And then now I want you to look at the wall back there behind me. Okay. Then I want you to look back at my finger. So what I noticed that when you look at my finger, when he looked at my finger, his eyes constricted. And then when you look back at the wall, it dilated to accommodate. So accommodation is good. Okay. So now I'm going to I've finished looking at your eyes. Okay. So his pupil, when I look into his eyes with my ophthalmoscope, his pupils they're round and reactive to light in your eyes. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the inner muscle of your eye. This is still checking the extraocular movement of your eyes, okay? So I want you to focus on my finger. And as my finger, I want you to continue focusing my finger, just moving your eyes as my finger come closer So what happened is the eyeballs moved to the middle, closer to your nose,
Okay.
which is a normal, which should be the normal reaction to my finger.
All right.
Okay. So next, I'm going to move on to the ears. And again, I'm looking at the ears. I'm inspecting, and I'm looking at for symmetry on both ears.
All right.
I'm looking for to make sure there's no redness, no drainage, there's no lesion on there. Okay. And then now I'm going to palpate the ear, each ear a little bit, just to check the auricle. Any pain here?
None.
And I'm going to pull back and manipulate it a little bit. Okay? All right. So now I'm going to do it on this side. I'm going to pull back the auricles. I'm just pulling, manipulating it a little bit to make sure that it's moving and it's not resistant to my movements. Okay, so that appeared normal. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look into each ear with my otoscope. Okay, so I'm going to get it ready here. Changing. So I'm going to start with your left ear.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Turn it on. So in order to look into his ear, I'm going to pull it back and backwards. Okay. So, and I'm going in, look in, and the light is bouncing off of his the ear drum or membrane, and inside of it, it's pearly white. Okay. So I'm going to do the opposite ear.
All right.
Okay. So, which is normal, and that's how it should be. Okay. So again, I'm going to pull back with this hand, and I'm going to pull up and back. Look it in your ear. A little bit for me. Again, this one is pearly white, and the light again is bouncing off of it, and that one had a little bit of cerumen in it, which is at the tip of it. Okay. All right. So I didn't find anything abnormal with his ear, and no trauma, no lesion, no drainage, and the eardrum appear normal. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to your nose. Okay, again, I'm inspecting, I'm looking at it to make sure it's symmetrical. No redness, no flaring, no abnormal movements of the ears, and they appear symmetrical. Okay?
Okay.
So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a smell test. So I want you to just sniff for me. I'm holding one side of the nose.
Okay.
Okay? And do it on the other side. Okay. And then I want you to, I'm going to give you something to smell. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes for me. Okay? And then I want you to put your finger on one side of your nose.
All right.
Then I want you to tell me what is it that you smell. Okay. All right. Awesome. So smelling is good.
Okay.
And then I'm going to look inside your nose. Okay. So what I'm looking for inside the nose is So I'm gonna put my thumb up here, the middle of here of your nose, and I'm just gonna look in, just relax a little bit for me. No turbinate, no redness. Then I'm gonna look in the other one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The same
Okay.
thing.
All right. Good.
So his septum, I didn't notice any septum deviation.
Okay.
Okay. Um, so that is normal. So I want to go back a little bit.
Okay.
Because with the hearing test, I wanted to do when I checked your ear, I wanted to do the what we call Weber test
Okay.
and also the Rhines test.
Okay.
So the Weber test is going to check your hearing laterally.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to do is put the tuning fork on your head,
All right.
and then I'm checking to see if you hear it in both ears or just one.
Okay.
Okay? So the next, I'm going to do the Rhine test, and this is I'm going to be checking for bone conduction
Mm-hmm.
and ear conduction, and I'm going to do it on both. Okay? So I'm going to do it on the left first. So I'm going to put it behind the ear, and then when you don't hear the sound anymore, you say now, and then I'm going to move it to your ear. Okay? So I'm going to put it on the bony part of your ear back here. Okay. So the the Rhine test is testing that to see if that you should hear it appears that you heard it last here on the bony part of your ear, and then in the ear conduction it was longer, which is normal. Okay, so I'm going to do it on the other side. Okay. So with the Weber and the Rhines test, he was able to hear the sound um, in both ears once I place it in the top of his head laterally. And then for the bone conduction and the ear conduction, he was able to hear it behind the ear, but it was longer when I put it up closer to both the ears. Okay. So next, I'm going to move on to your mouth. And so what I'm checking for again, I'm looking at your the color of your lips to see whether it's pink or another color or and right now yours is pink, which is a normal color. Okay, that's telling me that you're getting enough oxygen going to work to your mouth and there's nothing else going on there. Okay. So I'm gonna have you tilt your head up a little bit for me. And what I'm gonna do, just bring it down a little bit more. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna look inside your mouth. Okay. So I'm gonna just shine my light inside your mouth. And I'm looking at your teeth, any dental caries, and then I'm also gonna look in the back of your mouth for your uvula to make sure it's midline, and your soft and your hard palate. Okay, so open your mouth for me. Your tongue out. Say ah. Uvula is midline, hard and soft palate is normal. As I'm just gonna be looking some more inside your mouth. Mucosa is nice and pink. And raise your tongue up for me. No dental caries. Okay? Okay. Close your mouth. Okay. So now I want you to go ahead and swallow for me. Okay. So that is the cranial nerves, 8 cranial nerves, 9 and 10, which is the vagus nerve, which is the cranial nerves, 10, and glysopharyngeal, which is the one that check inside your mouth. You open it, you say, ah, the uvula is midline, and there's no redness back there. His hard and soft palate is good, and and then I'm gonna ask you to open your mouth again, and this is the vagus nerve 12, which I'm gonna be checking. So I'm gonna ask you to stick your tongue out, stick your tongue out, and move it for me from side to side and up. Okay, very good. So his mouth um, um, appears normal. He was able to swallow, and again, the uvula is a midline. Mucosa is nice and pink, and there wasn't any dental caries or any sore or any lesion in the mouth. So next, I'm going to move on to your neck.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do with your neck is I'm looking for symmetry of your neck. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm just looking from one side to the next. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go ahead and palpate your lymph nodes.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to palpate your trachea.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you to swallow. I'm just going to manipulate it a little bit, see if it moves from side to side.
Okay.
And it did. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and palpate your thyroid a little bit. Okay.
All right.
So turn your neck. I'm going to come back to the front.
All right.
So I can feel so now I'm going to be palpating your lymph nodes. Okay, so I'm lowering your head down a little bit for me. Okay, so I'm going to be touching your face, and so what I'm going to be feeling for is just to make sure that you don't have any swollen lymph nodes and they're within normal. Okay.
All right.
So the first one I'm going to be palpating is the preauricle. Um, Posterior cervical. And then I'm going to be palpating your bear with me. Okay, so I'm palpating your submandibular, premental. Please say premental. So mental. Okay. And then I'm palpating your cervical. Okay. And then cervical here, posterior cervical. Okay. And then your clavicle. Coming down here, palpating. Any tenderness?
No tenderness.
And then and then I'm going back here and doing your didn't feel any swollen lymph nodes or any peas-like feeling. So that means your lymph nodes within normal. Okay.
Good.
Okay, so that concludes our head, ear, nose, and throat examination. And thank you for allowing me to do this examination on you today.
Thank you.